The Siege of Jackson is not something that happens in the game. We thought we had an opportunity to create even more of a sense of vulnerability. It wasn't simply Joel or Ellie who was in trouble. Everyone was in trouble. The Cordyceps were gonna rise up and take their revenge on Jackson for thinking that it could protect itself.
This has been circled on my calendar since I read the script, and I was very, very excited for this. It's gonna be legendary television, you know? It's Battle of the Bastards level.
I'm a Game of Thrones fan and just marveled at how they did those things. And of course, then in my competitive way thought, how do we make something even bigger? Hire one of the great directors from Game of Thrones and also from Succession, Mark Mylod.
This episode, even though it's one of the best scripts I've ever read, it only works if I root for every one of you for your survival. So make me care, please. Fight for your lives and fight for your families. You're freezing cold, but you're fighting for your lives. Please give me passion every time. I want you to go home exhausted. Thank you. The Battle of Jackson took place over a number of weeks, and every day was this challenge where I'd wake up before the alarm, just in fear of messing something up or underachieving.
In action, game.
Jackson Hole! Get run!
Creating a battle sequence is like going into war. What you're seeing is the representation of 5,000 really long meetings where we have to coordinate what we build physically, what we're gonna create with visual effects, how we're gonna do the snow and the weather, how we use stunt people, and then how are we gonna edit this all together so it feels seamless.
Real flamethrowers, dozens of stunt people falling off rooftops, being lit on fire, jumping around, fighting each other. It was the set piece to end all set pieces for our show.
Cutting there, guys. Cutting.
I knew that they'd used a small town in Alberta as for Jackson Hole in season 1. I didn't actually get the memo that they were building an entire town for season 2.
Jackson has expanded in 5 years' time. It's kind of crazy, but it's beautiful to think that, you know, if the world darn near comes to an end, like, people are gonna survive and they're gonna make things work.
So I had this magnificent and huge town as a playground and all these toys to play with, and then on the page, a terrifyingly huge battle, which I suppose, as a kind of crass generalization, broke down into 3 main sections. Number 1, the Horde arrive outside the incredibly well-fortified town of Jackson Hole, where the townsfolk, over endless planning and use of resources, have constructed a quite ingenious defense plan, and they're actually incredibly well equipped to deal with even an attack of this mammoth scale. Initially, the plan of rolling, petroleum bombs down ramps to them, therefore effectively creating this kind of fish in a barrel situation where they're either burning or they're being shot, is incredibly effective. What they didn't bank on was bloater turning up, and that's a game changer, and Tommy is canny enough and worldly enough to know that the defense will be breached. That's part 1. Part 2, and now we're into a street battle. So we have this kill zone, this gauntlet set up with snipers up on the rooftops on either side of Main Street, with another kill zone and a band of flamethrowers also to kettle the infected in. So that's all going pretty well. But the sheer numbers are just overwhelming, and that takes us into part 3, where Tommy basically lures this agitating bloater down a back alleyway, and it becomes a duel between the two of them, bloater versus flamethrower. The intensity of it was just one of the highlights of my career.
Okay, coming up on the wind in the snow. Here we go. Ready, and 3, 2, 1, action, horde.
When the horde first rounded the corner in Main Street and came pouring down the street, and in that moment, with the camera behind these 4 men with these little flamethrowers, with hundreds and hundreds of horde pouring down the street towards them, and no safety net, you know, that felt really scary in the best way to me. Our extraordinary team of visual effects magicians, they will magnify the scope and scale of that horde tenfold.
Digital humans are always a difficult thing for visual effects to create. A photoreal digital human, creating hundreds of them is also very tricky.
The best effects, I think, now in film and television are usually a marriage of the two, practical and digital. Alex was always very keen for us to deliver as much as we could practically. For the Jackson sequence, we did about 20 to 30 performers each day in close-up prosthetics. We knew that we were going to have a lot of bodies in a scene running, and we would only have so many coming close to camera, and that would determine what we would spend our time and energy on. In season 1, we had a lot of people in the most extreme infected stages with all these huge cordyceps all over them. And I think now, with sort of the frozen environment and all these infected erupting out the ground, we wanted to show a lot of them in lesser stages, mid stages, than the extensive stages.
Ready, and 3, 2, 1, action.
Right here!
It's really rewarding to see the shots come to life. Just infected, running into fire, explosions. There's a lot to pack in. To have a one-on-one fight with the bloater and Tommy with a flamethrower, I mean, those are just epic things that we dream of.
I was really proud that I'm the one that's bearing this weapon. Kudos to all of our effects guys for getting me trained up. It was amazing.
We had a really fun day playing with flamethrowers. Joel and the special effects department had constructed this almost like I suppose, a fireproof rickshaw, but with a fireproof front, with a fireproof piece of glass, so that Robin, our head camera operator, could sit in there with a fire suit, with a handheld camera that was also protected, and basically charge along right next to our bloater, flamethrower there and camera right there, with often the flame coming right across the lens in such an immersive way. And the result is an extraordinary sequence.
The expectations with this kind of scope is that it's seamless and we are immersed in a way where our visual effects is invisible. For the Burning Bloater, it starts with the script, and we start that process with painting style frames. So we sort of get on the same page with how the bloater is burning. I have to find a lot of references of things burning, and it's a lot of rather grotesque references that I have to find, just because we're trying to be realistic. We're not a fantasy kind of show. Everything has to feel grounded.
this is the city that they built with their hands, and it's almost all gone. And I think she sort of get emotional. Oh my God. When she opens those gates, it's her last card, and she's gonna play it. They feel so lucky that like we did it. You know what I mean? Even though like at what cost?
This episode is really about loss. It's obviously the loss of Joel that means so much to the characters and to viewers and to us as the makers of this thing. But it's also the loss of a big part of Jackson. Many other people die, and it just goes to show the fragility of communities in this world.